Welcome to Pillow Archives. In this video, we're going to cover 26 real photographs, each one unsettling, mysterious, and disturbing. Let's begin. Clowns. This isn't a horror film. It's a real hospital scene from the 1950s. Clowns were invited to cheer up sick children, but the result looks anything but cheerful. Nightmare dummy. Meet one of the earliest ventriloquists and his nightmare dummy. They say the dummy never blinked. Radiation suit. An early 20th century protective suit, designed to handle gas or radiation. The Masked Gathering. This isn't a cult. It's a group of villagers celebrating carnival in the early 1900s. Their homemade masks were meant to be fun, but now they just look cursed. Blanche Monnier, a true nightmare created by a mother. Blanche Monnier was locked in a dark attic for 25 years. No sunlight, no freedom, just silence. Until one day, someone sent a letter and the police broke the door. This photo was taken on the day they found her. Fairies. Two little girls said they saw fairies in their backyard, and the world believed them. In 1917, these photos convinced even Sherlock Holmes' creator, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Years later, it was revealed. The fairies were paper cutouts, but for a while, magic felt real. Serious burns. You might feel uneasy looking at this photo, but this is not a monster. It's a woman society tried to hide. In the Victorian era, burn victims were often locked away from public view. Diving suit. A real diving suit from 1935, built to survive the crushing pressure of the deep sea. It looks terrifying today, but back then, it was cutting-edge technology. The Michelin Man. Today, he's a friendly mascot, but back then, he looked like a walking nightmare. This was the Michelin Man in the 1920s, made of stacked tires to promote strength and durability. The Dog-Faced Boy. Fedor Jeftichou was born with hypertrichosis, a rare condition causing excessive hair growth. In the 19th century, he was turned into a sideshow attraction. Under the name JoJo, he toured the world. To crowds, he was a spectacle, but behind the curtain, he was just a boy trying to live. For sale. A mother turns away, crying, and four little kids sit beneath a for sale sign. This photo was taken during the Great Depression in the 1930s in America. Poverty hit so hard, some parents sold their children to survive. This isn't staged. This is desperation, captured forever. Lunch on the Bridge. The world's most iconic lunch break. In 1932, 11 construction workers sit on a steel beam 850 feet above the ground, having lunch during the construction of Rockefeller Center. No harnesses, no safety lines, just guts and sandwiches. This legendary photo wasn't spontaneous. It was part of a publicity stunt to promote the skyscraper. Mummies of Venzone. Imagine a town where the dead are dressed up and photographed like family. This is Venzone, Italy. Since the 17th century, the naturally mummified bodies have been preserved due to unique environmental conditions. Villagers still treat them like relatives. Mickey Mouse and friends. But something feels wrong. There was no Disneyland yet in the 1930s, but there were mascots, and these mascots looked like nightmares. Eyes too wide, smiles too forced. Were they meant to entertain kids or terrify them? Halloween costumes. This photo comes from an innocent Halloween celebration. So why does it feel so disturbing? It's the early 1900s. Costumes were homemade, and the masks looked like something straight out of a nightmare. Far from cute. Were these kids just trick-or-treating? The Pioneers' Defense. Looks like a scene from a dystopian movie, right? But it's real. The year is 1937 in the Soviet Union. These are children from a civil defense drill called the Pioneers' Defense. Fear of war was so strong that training kids to wear gas masks became normal. Creepy corner figure. The year is the 1920s. In the corner of a school hallway stands a figure wrapped in white, a skull mask, motionless, silent. Was it a prank, a costume day, or someone reenacting the school's ghost legend? The Dyatlov hikers. This photo shows the last moments of these hikers. In 1959, they set out to climb the Ural Mountains. Experienced, prepared, they never returned. Days later, their tent was found, slashed from the inside. Some were frozen, some were barefoot. One was missing a tongue. Another had shattered ribs. Traces of radiation were found. No signs of struggle, no avalanche. Whatever happened that night remains unsolved. The atomic dancer. A dancer striking a graceful pose. But that's not just a cloud in the background. It's a nuclear explosion. This haunting photo was taken during a U.S. atomic test in the Nevada desert. The model? She was hired to pose just seconds after the detonation. Beauty and destruction, captured in a single terrifying frame. The Jolly Butcher's Pub. What looks like festive decoration is actually a disturbing collection. Those are rabbit skins, hundreds of them. This photo shows a British pub in the early 1900s, completely covered in rabbit pelts. It was meant as a bizarre form of advertisement. But today, it feels more like a creepy taxidermy nightmare frozen in time. Mickey Mouse Club audience. This might look like a scene from a horror movie, but it's real. In the 1930s, a theater filled with children, all wearing Mickey Mouse masks. It was part of a promotional event. Yet the result? An unintentionally terrifying display of identical smiles and empty eyes, proof that even joy, in the wrong setting, can feel unsettling. Gas mask. This isn't science fiction. It's a real gas mask from the 1940s, designed for protection, but it looks more like something out of a dystopian nightmare. The thick hose, the mechanical lenses, and the eerie silence. It's a reminder, even survival gear can be terrifying. Headless portrait. A man sitting calmly in a chair, holding his own severed head. But this isn't a horror movie. It's a real Victorian photo, created over 130 years ago. Using early double exposure techniques, photographers crafted eerie illusions like this one. Back then, it was seen as playful. Today, it feels like something straight out of a nightmare. Rasputin. He was called a mystic healer and a mad monk. But look into his eyes and ask yourself, what hidden power lies behind that stare? This was Rasputin, and history never forgot him. Creepy Party. Berlin, 1926. A New Year's Eve party. But instead of a cake on the table, there's a little girl, dressed in glitter, marked 1926, as adults raise their glasses around her. To them, it was celebration. To us, it's disturbing. A haunting glimpse into the oddities of the past. Crocodiles. A man trapped in a tank. But he's not alone. Surrounded by live crocodiles, he performs calmly, like this is normal. This bizarre photo was taken at a German circus in the 1930s. Back then, danger was just part of the show. No CGI, no tricks, just raw, terrifying spectacle. One wrong move, and this could have ended very differently. You've just seen some of the strangest photos from history. Some are explained, others still raise questions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a lot more waiting to be uncovered. See you in the next one.